The aliens stood in their control room, laughing. They thought humans were nothing but a primitive species, weak and insignificant. The large screens around them showed Earth, its oceans, mountains, and cities, but to them, it was just a playground, ripe for conquest. "Look at them," the female alien commander sneered, her voice cold and dismissive. "They think they have a chance. Pathetic." Her crew nodded in agreement, each one mocking the humans, their technology nothing compared to the vast power the aliens possessed. The humans, with their primitive weapons and outdated technology, didn't even stand a chance. They had seen species come and go, but none had been as easily defeated as the humans. But there was one human, one soldier, who caught their attention. He stood off to the side, silent, observing the chaos unfolding. He wasn't the largest or the most powerful, and he certainly wasn't the leader of the resistance. Yet, there was something about him that made the alien commander uneasy. She couldn't shake the feeling that he was different. The commander turned to her second-in-command, a tall, intimidating figure with his arms crossed. "How long until we have complete control over their planet?" she asked. "Not long," he replied, his voice filled with confidence. "Their cities will fall within the hour. We've already infiltrated their communication systems. They don't even know what hit them." The commander smirked. "It's almost too easy. These humans, they thought they could fight back. How adorable." But the human soldier, who had been watching the aliens from a distance, knew something they didn't. He had been part of the human resistance for years, always staying under the radar, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. While the aliens were busy celebrating their supposed victory, he had been preparing. In the heart of the alien mothership, the human soldier quietly moved to a hidden terminal. He was the one who had been underestimated, the one they had dismissed as a mere pawn in their game. The aliens were wrong. They had no idea what they were about to unleash. As he typed commands into the terminal, a series of blue lights flickered across the room. The air seemed to grow tense, almost as if the ship itself sensed something was about to happen. The screens around the aliens began to glitch, and for a moment, the commander's confident expression faltered. "Report," she barked at her officers. It's the humans," one of the officers stammered. "They've activated something. We can't control our systems." The commander's eyes widened. "What did you say?" The officer rushed to his console, his hands trembling. "Their technology, it somehow bypassed our security systems. We can't shut it down." A low hum filled the room as the alien vessel seemed to shake. The lights flickered and the sound of alarms echoed through the ship. The human soldier, still at his terminal, pressed a few more keys. The ship went silent. The alien commander's eyes narrowed. "What did you do?" she demanded, her voice low and dangerous. The human soldier stood up, a faint smile playing on his lips. He hadn't said a word this entire time. Now, with the alien ship on the brink of total shutdown, his silence spoke volumes. "I just turned the tables," he said quietly. The entire control room went dark. For a moment, the alien stood frozen, unsure of what had just happened. Then, one of the alien officers shouted, "The ship's systems are failing. We're losing power. The humans, they've taken control." The commander gritted her teeth. "How? This is impossible." The human soldier, still standing in the shadows, knew exactly what he had done. The humans had underestimated the aliens for too long. Now, the tables had turned. The aliens had made one fatal mistake: they had assumed the humans were weak. The ship's systems began to flicker back on, but this time, the humans had control. And as the human soldier watched the chaos unfold, he knew that this was just the beginning. "Who's weak now?" he muttered under his breath, his grin widening. The alien commander, still struggling to regain control, turned to her officers. "We can't let this happen. We need to take back control. Now." But it was too late. The human soldier had already triggered a countdown. The ship would be theirs soon, and the aliens would have no choice but to beg for mercy. The alien commander, her eyes filled with disbelief, turned to face the screens. This is impossible. How could they? Suddenly, a loud beep echoed through the room. The countdown had begun. 3, 2, 1. The countdown reached 0, and the entire ship shook as the humans' control was fully established. The aliens were no longer in charge. The human soldier stepped back from the terminal, wiping his hands. Now, we see who's truly weak. The room was silent, filled with tension. The once confident aliens now found themselves trapped in their own ship, helpless against the humans they had underestimated. The alien commander's voice trembled. "You'll regret this. You can't control us forever." The human soldier leaned forward, his grin turning dark. "Try me." As the humans began to take over the alien ship, the commander tried one last desperate measure, a final attempt to regain control. But it was clear, the humans were no longer the underdogs. Naughty question for the comment section. What do you think the human soldier is going to do next? Is the alien commander in for a surprise? Let us know your thoughts. The alien ship was no longer their domain. The lights flickered back to life, revealing a much darker reality. The hum of alien technology was no longer comforting to the invaders, it was a reminder of how quickly their own systems had betrayed them. They had underestimated humanity's resolve, and now they were paying the price. The human soldier stood at the center of the control room, his arms folded across his chest as he watched the chaos unfold. His expression was one of calm assurance. He had prepared for this moment his entire life, and now, as the alien ship trembled beneath his feet, he realized that everything had led to this. He wasn't just fighting for survival anymore, he was fighting for control. The control that would tip the scales forever. The alien commander, her face pale with anger, stood at the back of the room, gritting her teeth. Her eyes burned with fury, but there was something else, fear. Fear that the humans, the species they had once so easily dismissed, had figured out their weaknesses. Fear that they could lose everything in an instant. Regain control of the ship, the commander snapped, her voice trembling. Now! Her officers scrambled to their consoles, but it was clear their efforts were futile. Every command they input seemed to be immediately overridden by the human soldier's takeover. The once mighty ship, designed to be the pinnacle of alien superiority, was now at the mercy of a single human. The human soldier glanced over his shoulder at the alien commander, an amused smile tugging at his lips. "Still think we're weak?" The commander's eyes flared with anger. "You have no idea what you're messing with, human." The soldier leaned against a nearby console, his posture relaxed, but his eyes were sharp. "You've got that right. I'm messing with you." He paused for a moment, enjoying the power shift. "And you know what? I think it's time for you to learn something about humans. We don't back down. We don't quit. And we fight dirty when we need to." With a quick gesture, the human soldier activated a sequence that sent a pulse through the ship's systems, locking down the aliens' communication channels and rendering them completely cut off from reinforcements. The alien officers looked at each other, panic creeping into their eyes. "This is impossible," one of them shouted. "We can't just sit here. We're being defeated by a single human." The commander, now visibly shaken, tried to regain some semblance of control. "Keep fighting. We must." Before she could finish her sentence, the human soldier turned to face her, cutting her off. "You've lost," he said simply. His voice held no malice, just cold certainty. The commander's fury boiled over. "You're a fool. You don't know what you're dealing with." The soldier smirked. "And you think you do? I've been fighting you for years. And now, you're fighting us, the ones you thought were weak. Let's see how you handle that." In that moment, the alien commander realized just how far she had gone wrong. She had underestimated not just the humans, but their capacity for resilience. She had thought they were fragile, easily manipulated, and could be controlled. But now, that illusion was shattered. "Shut the ship down. Shut it down now," the commander shouted, her voice rising in desperation. But it was already too late. The human soldier had anticipated every move they might make. With a few swift movements, he activated the final system shutdown, locking down all the aliens' access points to escape. The hum of the ship's engines died away. The once bustling control room now stood eerily still. The human soldier turned to face his comrades, the group of resistance fighters who had been quietly working in the background, coordinating the invasion from within. They had done it. The aliens were defeated. The soldier's voice was low but full of satisfaction. This is only the beginning. This ship is ours now, and we've got one hell of a message to send. The commander, standing in defeat, her back against the cold metal wall, could do nothing but watch. The humans had completely flipped the script on them. What was once a conquered planet was now a battlefield for supremacy, with the humans holding all the cards. A soft chuckle escaped the soldier's lips. You were so confident. Thought you could just wipe us out, but now you're the ones begging for mercy. How does it feel? The commander, eyes wild with disbelief, opened her mouth to retort, but nothing came out. There was no more bravado left, only the cold reality that the humans had taken everything from her. Her voice was barely a whisper. You'll regret this. We'll come for you, all of you. The human soldier took a step forward, his eyes narrowing as he stood directly in front of her. Oh, I don't think you will. This time, we're the ones in control. We're the ones you'll answer to. And if you think for 1 second we're going to let you off the hook. He smiled, his tone dark and chilling. Well, then you're sadly mistaken. With that, the soldier turned, leaving the alien commander in stunned silence as the power of the humans' takeover began to spread throughout the alien ship. But this wasn't the end. No. It was only the beginning. The aliens had made a grave mistake, and now the humans were going to make them pay. The alien commander's voice trembled as she muttered under her breath, "You think you've won? You don't even know what's coming next." Naughty question for the comment section. Do you think the human soldier will let the aliens off the hook, or is he planning something even bigger? What's his next move? Let's hear your predictions in the comments. The alien ship, once a symbol of their mighty empire, was now under human control. The hum of the engines, once a sound of dominance, now felt like the echo of a defeated empire. The humans had struck first, and they had done it with precision. The alien fleet was in chaos. The commander's mind raced. The humans had taken them by surprise, but she knew they wouldn't stop there. The invasion had only just begun. Meanwhile, the human soldier stood before the large view screen, watching as the alien planets fell into their grasp. Their ships, once so powerful, were now no match for human ingenuity. The resistance fighters had already hacked into the alien network, spreading chaos throughout their ranks. It was a perfect storm, and the humans were riding the wave. We've got them on the ropes, the soldier said, turning to his team. Now, we take them down. His voice was steady, but there was an excitement in his eyes. The time for playing it safe was over. The tables had turned, and now they were ready to strike. One of the female fighters, a tall and fierce woman, grinned. Finally! I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Let's show them how it's done. The soldier raised an eyebrow. You know, we could always just send them a "I thank you" card for underestimating us. But I think we can do something more fun. The female fighter chuckled. Oh, I'm all for fun. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. As the team prepared for the final strike, the alien commander was in a frenzy. Her officers had told her the situation was worsening, but she refused to believe it. She'd been too sure of herself. Too sure that they would win. But now, as the humans took control, she realized the gravity of her mistake. Her hand gripped the console, knuckles white with tension. We can't just sit here. We need to fight back, she ordered, her voice clipped with urgency. One of her officers, a younger alien with shaky hands, spoke up. We've lost communication with the fleet. They're not responding. The humans have encrypted our signals. Her eyes flared with rage. Then we fight them directly. We'll show them what happens when you mess with the wrong species. The ship's engines hummed louder as the alien fleet attempted to regroup. The human soldier, now standing tall, watched the alien ships as they began to move. The time for negotiation was over. They weren't just going to push the aliens back, they were going to make them pay. Time to make them regret underestimating us, the soldier muttered. The alien fleet began to launch counterattacks, but each move they made was anticipated by the humans. It was like a game of chess, and the humans had already thought 5 moves ahead. Their countermeasures were precise, their attacks devastating. It was a well-orchestrated assault, and the aliens were scrambling to respond. The soldier's voice crackled through the intercom, calm and confident. Strike now. The battle began. Missiles flew, energy blasts lit up the sky, and the once pristine alien ships began to burn. Each shot fired by the humans landed with deadly precision. The alien ships that once seemed invincible were now vulnerable, their shields shattered by the relentless assault. Who's the weak species now? The soldier whispered to himself, a smirk playing on his lips. But amidst the destruction, the alien commander refused to back down. She knew the humans were strong, but she wasn't about to let them win. She activated the alien ship's emergency protocols, deploying a powerful energy shield that covered the fleet. For a moment, it seemed like the tide might turn in their favor. The energy shield glowed brightly, blocking the human missiles and energy blasts. The human soldiers watched in frustration as their weapons bounced off the alien shields. Not bad, the soldier muttered. But let's see how they handle this. He motioned to his team. The humans had one weapon left, one they hadn't used yet. A secret weapon that had been hidden away for years. And now, it was time to use it. With a quick motion, the soldier activated the weapon. It sent out a pulse that cut through the alien shields like a hot knife through butter. The energy shield flickered for a moment, then collapsed, leaving the alien ships exposed. Now's our chance, one of the female fighters shouted, her voice filled with excitement. The humans didn't hesitate. They attacked in waves, striking the alien ships from all angles. The alien fleet began to break apart. Their defenses crumbled as human fighters soared through the chaos, picking off targets with ease. The aliens, once so confident in their superiority, were now fighting a losing battle. The alien commander's voice rang out through the ship, her desperation clear. Fall back! Fall back to the last defense line! But it was too late. The humans had already seized control of their communications, and there was nowhere left to retreat. The human soldier's voice echoed through the air. You were never going to win. You just didn't know it yet. As the final alien ship fell to the ground, the soldier stood, his eyes fixed on the destruction below. This is just the beginning. We're not done yet. The human soldier turned to his team, his grin widening. You think they're done? No, they'll be back. And next time, we'll be ready. Naughty question for the comment section. Do you think the aliens will come up with something to counter the humans' new weapon? What's their next move? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The once dominant alien fleet lay in ruins, scattered across the void of space like broken toys discarded in a child's playroom. The deafening silence that followed the battle was almost peaceful, but it only lasted for a brief moment before the full weight of the situation hit the remaining alien forces. The alien commander paced furiously through the control room, her mind racing. She had never imagined this, never imagined that the humans, the species she had so casually dismissed, would turn the tide of war so completely. The once proud alien empire was on the brink of collapse, and it was all because of one human soldier. Report, she barked, her voice tinged with panic. Her officer, eyes wide with fear, spoke in a shaky voice. All our communication lines have been severed, Commander. We've lost contact with the other fleets. The humans are in full control of our ship. The entire fleet is retreating, we're out of options. The commander's chest tightened as she clenched her fists. She had no words. How had this happened? The humans should have been crushed long ago. Yet, here they were, holding all the cards. Is there anything we can do? She asked, her voice quieter now, almost pleading. Her officer hesitated. There's one last measure we can try. But it's a long shot. It could either break their control or destroy us entirely. The commander's eyes narrowed, her resolve returning. Do it. If we die fighting. If we can break their control, we'll find another way to strike back. Meanwhile, on the human side, the soldier who had led the assault watched from the command deck, eyes locked on the fading remnants of the alien fleet. The mission was nearly complete, but there was still something gnawing at him. Something about the commander's final message made him uneasy. Was it possible the aliens still had one last trick up their sleeve? His fingers hovered over the controls. You think you're done, he muttered under his breath. I don't think so. Not yet. The tension was palpable. The humans had succeeded, but it didn't feel like a victory yet. Not when they still had the alien commander to contend with. The soldier's thoughts were interrupted by the sudden beep of an incoming transmission. It was a direct link from the alien command ship. His team immediately went on high alert, eyes darting to the screen. The commander's face appeared, her expression a strange mix of defiance and desperation. Human, she began, her voice ragged. You've won. You've destroyed our fleet. You've taken control of our ship, but we beg of you, show mercy. The soldier's eyes flicked to his team. The alien commander's plea was unexpected, but there was something in her voice that caught his attention. Was this the same arrogant leader who had once mocked humanity? Who had underestimated them at every turn? You think we're going to show you mercy, the soldier said, his voice cold but curious. After everything you've done to us, you want mercy? The alien commander, now standing at the helm of her ship, swallowed hard, her once proud posture slumping in defeat. She paused, collecting herself before continuing. I know you'll never forgive us for what we've done. But we've made a mistake. You were right all along. We underestimated you. We thought we could enslave your people, but now I see you are far stronger than we ever imagined. I'm begging you, spare us. We will retreat. We will leave your planet and never return. There was a long pause before the soldier spoke again. His fingers hovered over the controls, weighing the options. Was this a trap? Had the aliens finally resorted to a last-ditch effort to save themselves, or was this genuine? I don't know, the soldier said slowly. I've seen what your kind is capable of. You destroyed entire civilizations just to prove a point. Why should we trust you now? The alien commander's eyes softened, the hardness in her expression giving way to something human. Something he hadn't expected to see. Because we know we're defeated. We know we can't win. And we know that you, human, are the ones in control now. If you kill us, you'll prove that you're no better than us. The soldier's brow furrowed. The words hit harder than he expected. For a moment, he allowed himself to think back on all the destruction, the innocent lives lost, the entire alien fleet slaughtered. Was he really any better than the aliens? Were they any different? But then, he remembered the countless lives that had been destroyed by the alien invasion. He couldn't afford to be weak. No, the soldier said, finally breaking the silence. We've shown mercy to you once before. And look where it got us. No more mercy. You've taken too much from us, and now it's our turn. The alien commander's face tightened, but there was a flicker of something else in her eyes. She wasn't surprised, she had known this was coming. Then finish it, she whispered, her voice breaking. But know this, human, your victory will come with a cost. The soldier hesitated for a brief moment. His mind raced with thoughts of revenge and justice. The alien forces had caused endless pain, but he knew that mercy would have been a luxury he couldn't afford. Your species will never invade Earth again, the soldier said firmly. And if you try, we'll be ready. The alien commander closed her eyes, the weight of her species' fate upon her shoulders. We will never forget you, she murmured, before cutting the transmission. Naughty question for the comment section. Do you think the alien commander truly regrets her actions, or is this just another trick? What's your take on the soldier's decision? Leave your thoughts in the comments. The silence that followed the alien commander's transmission was deafening. For a moment, the human soldier and his team stood still, absorbing the weight of the decision that had just been made. The air felt thick with tension, as though the universe itself was holding its breath. The human soldier's eyes were locked on the flickering screen, where the defeated alien commander's face had just disappeared. His hand hovered over the control panel, fingers twitching, ready to give the final command that would end the conflict. But deep down, he felt something gnawing at him, something he hadn't expected. For the first time, he questioned if he was doing the right thing. The female fighter beside him, who had been with him from the beginning of this battle, noticed the shift in his expression. She stepped forward, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You're doing what needs to be done," she said softly. They had their chance. They lost. The soldier didn't answer immediately. He had heard her words, but they didn't feel like enough. It wasn't that he regretted their victory, it was the way it had all unfolded. The aliens had been brutal, merciless in their conquest, but what was the price of their defeat? Would humanity become just like them, tearing down anyone who stood in their way? He took a deep breath and turned to face her. "I know. But I can't help wondering if we're making the same mistake they did. They thought they were invincible, but here we are, doing the same thing. We've beaten them, but what happens next?" She met his gaze, her eyes unwavering. "We survive. We rebuild. That's what we do. We fight, we win, and then we make sure they never try to enslave us again." The soldier nodded, her words grounding him. He knew that they couldn't afford to be weak, but something inside him still stirred. The aliens had underestimated humanity, but could he, too, be underestimating the cost of their victory? Before he could ponder any further, the alarm sounded. The calm was shattered by a warning flashing across the control room's screens. "Sir, we have an incoming fleet," an officer reported urgently. "It's massive. They're not retreating. They're reinforcing." The soldier's eyes narrowed. "You're telling me there's more of them?" "We think they were waiting for us to lower our guard," the officer continued. "It's a counterattack, and it's coming fast." The human soldier clenched his jaw, steeling himself. The aliens had retreated, but now it seemed they were bringing everything they had left in one final desperate bid for survival. The alien commander's words echoed in his mind, "Your victory will come with a cost." He turned to his team, his expression hardening. "Get ready. They want to test us? Let's show them what happens when you make the mistake of thinking humanity is weak." Later, in the heart of the alien fleet, the alien commander stood before her officers, her face pale, eyes wide with desperation. Her once proud fleet had been decimated by the humans. But she wasn't giving up. Not yet. She knew she had one last card to play. "Prepare the last weapon," she ordered, her voice trembling. "We will not go down without a fight." Her second-in-command stepped forward, looking uncertain. "Are you sure? This could destroy us all." She turned to face him, her eyes filled with cold determination. "We don't have a choice anymore. If we don't use this, we'll be wiped out completely. The humans have beaten us at every turn, but they don't understand what we're capable of. We have one last chance to turn this around." The officer hesitated, but the commander's gaze was unyielding. "We either use the weapon, or we die. Prepare it now." In the depths of the alien ship, far below the command deck, a massive chamber hummed to life. Inside, a weapon of unimaginable power was being activated. It was their final ace, one that could obliterate entire planets, one that could destroy the humans once and for all. But as the weapon powered up, something strange happened. The soldier's earlier words echoed in the commander's mind, "If you think we're done, think again." She had heard the resolve in his voice, the certainty that humanity wouldn't stop until they had won. The aliens had underestimated the humans. But now, in a desperate bid to turn the tables, the aliens were making the same mistake. They were overestimating their weapon. And in doing so, they were giving humanity one more chance to finish what they had started. Back on the human ship, the soldier stood with his team, watching the approaching alien fleet. They had expected this. The aliens weren't going to give up easily. But now, as the enemy ships closed in, something inside him clicked. He had been questioning their victory, but now, he knew what had to be done. "Let's finish this," he said, his voice steady. "We're not just fighting for survival anymore. We're fighting for everything we've worked for. For everything they tried to take from us." The team nodded, the weight of their mission clear in their eyes. The alien fleet, now reinforced, was coming for them, but the humans had something the aliens didn't: unity. And that made them stronger than anything the aliens could throw at them. As the alien ships approached, the soldier turned to his crew, a fire burning in his eyes. "This is it. We're not just defending Earth anymore. We're defending humanity's future." With a final nod, the command was given. But just as the final attack was about to begin, the alien fleet's weapon powered up, sending a blinding light into the sky. The human soldier's eyes widened in horror. No. This can't be happening. The ultimate weapon had been unleashed. Naughty question for the comment section. Do you think the humans can survive the aliens' last-ditch weapon? How will they counter it? Let us know your theories in the comments. The blinding light from the alien weapon illuminated the vastness of space. It was like a second sun had appeared in the distance, its energy crackling with power. The shockwave reverberated through the human ships, sending tremors through the hulls and shaking the very core of their fleets. "Shields up! All defenses, now," the human soldier barked, his voice sharp and urgent. The crew scrambled to their stations, but there was an overwhelming sense of dread in the air. This wasn't just another attack. The alien weapon was unlike anything they had ever faced. It was their final card, the one they had been saving for a moment like this. As the wave of energy washed over them, the human ship's shields held for a moment, but the pressure was too much. The outer layers of their defenses began to crack, and the soldiers on board braced themselves for impact. The soldier, now standing at the command deck, watched the energy grow closer. His mind raced. He had known the aliens were desperate, but this was madness. One wrong move, and they would be wiped out in an instant. "We need to retaliate now," a fighter shouted from the control panel, panic creeping into their voice. The soldier's eyes were locked onto the weapon, still powering up. He felt a strange calm wash over him as he made a decision. This wasn't just about defending humanity anymore, it was about securing their place in the galaxy. The aliens had pushed them this far, and now they were going to pay the price for underestimating Earth. "Activate the countermeasure," he ordered. His words were met with resistance. "But, sir, this could backfire. We don't know the full extent of the weapon's power." "Do it," the soldier snapped. "If we don't take a chance now, we'll be dead before we get another opportunity." A tense silence filled the room as the countermeasure was activated. The humans had designed a failsafe, something that could neutralize the alien weapon's energy. It was risky. No one knew if it would work. But this was their only shot. For a moment, there was nothing but silence. The energy from the alien weapon continued to build, a deafening hum ringing in the ears of the crew. And then, as if the universe itself was holding its breath, the countermeasure activated. A pulse shot out from the human ship, a brilliant beam of light cutting through the darkness. The two forces collided, the alien energy crashing against the human pulse, creating an explosion of light that consumed the space around them. It was a fight of titans. The two beams pushed against each other, and for a brief moment, it seemed like neither side would give. But then, slowly, the human pulse began to overpower the alien energy, pushing it back, inch by inch. The soldier watched in disbelief as the alien weapon began to dissipate. The pulse from their ship had neutralized the threat. The energy faded, and the alien fleet was left with nothing but the remnants of their final gambit. They had won. But as the adrenaline began to fade and the team breathed a collective sigh of relief, something strange happened. A transmission came through, cutting through the static. The alien commander's face appeared on the screen again. But this time, her expression was different. Gone was the arrogance, the fury. She looked broken. "You've won," she said quietly, her voice tired and defeated. "But don't think for a second that we've given up. This is not over." The human soldier's expression hardened. "It's over. Your weapon didn't work. And now, you have two choices: leave Earth and never return, or surrender and face the consequences." The alien commander's eyes flickered with something between frustration and resignation. "You're right. We've lost. But you should know, human, if you think this is the end, you're wrong. You'll never be safe. You've awakened something you don't understand." The soldier raised an eyebrow, his voice sharp. "We'll take our chances. Now, either you leave, or I'll make sure you never get the chance to invade again." For a long moment, the commander was silent. Then, slowly, her head lowered in defeat. "Very well. We will retreat. But mark my words, human, we will never forget." The soldier stood tall, his eyes cold. "Then it's over. You're done." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving the room filled with silence once again. Later, in the depths of space, the alien fleet retreated, their ships slowly disappearing into the distance, defeated and broken. The humans had triumphed, but there was a lingering sense of unease. The alien commander's words echoed in the soldier's mind. "You'll never be safe." But for now, the humans had won. They had taken back their planet, and in doing so, had changed the course of history. No longer would they be the weak species to be exploited. The tables had turned, and now, the alien invaders were the ones begging for mercy. But the soldier couldn't shake the feeling that the commander's words held some truth. The universe was vast, and this battle was just one of many. The aliens might be defeated, but there would always be others. The soldier turned to face his team, his expression resolute. "This war may be over, but the fight for Earth, for humanity's future, is just beginning." Naughty question for the comment section. Do you think the aliens will ever try to come back for revenge, or are they truly done for good? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The alien fleet had retreated into the far reaches of space, a broken shadow of the might they once commanded. The humans had done it. Earth was free. But as the soldiers stood on the bridge of their flagship, watching the final remnants of the alien invasion slip into the void, something nagged at the human soldier, the one who had led them to victory. He turned to his team, his eyes scanning the faces of his comrades, his friends, his allies, the ones who had fought with him every step of the way. Their expressions were a mix of relief and exhaustion, but there was also something else, something deeper. They had won, yes, but had they really achieved everything they set out to do? "We did it," the soldier said quietly, the words heavy. "But at what cost?" The female fighter beside him, who had been by his side from the beginning, gave him a reassuring smile. "We did what we had to do. You can't let the weight of victory drag you down. We fought for Earth, for our people, and now we have it back." The soldier's gaze softened, but the doubt remained. The aliens had been a threat, no question. They had invaded Earth with the intent to enslave humanity, to destroy everything in their path. And yet, the soldier couldn't help but think of the alien commander's last words. "You've awakened something you don't understand." He had dismissed them at first, but now, with the battle over, the weight of her warning sat on his shoulders. Could they truly rest easy, knowing that there were always more threats lurking in the dark corners of the universe? Was this really the final victory, or just the beginning of something darker? As he turned to face the screen again, the message came through, a broadcast from the alien commander, once more. This time, her face was different. There was no arrogance, no anger. Her eyes were weary, filled with the resignation of someone who had lost everything. "I am the last of my kind," she said, her voice quiet, almost broken. "We are leaving. I was wrong about you, human. I thought your kind was weak, that we could crush you like the others we have conquered. But I was wrong. You are stronger than I ever imagined." The soldier listened intently, his expression unreadable. "You will rebuild," the commander continued, her voice softening. And in time, others will come. But know this, we underestimated you. I underestimated you. But the next species, they will not make the same mistake. And when they come for you, you must be ready. The transmission cut off abruptly. The soldier stood frozen, staring at the blank screen. His mind raced, the alien commander's words echoing in his head. Was she trying to warn them, or was it simply a last, desperate attempt to assert some form of power before they fled? Are we really safe? The soldier whispered to himself. His team gathered around, each of them noticing the change in his demeanor. Are you okay? The female fighter asked, her voice tinged with concern. The soldier turned to her, his gaze intense. She was right about one thing. This might be over for now, but it's far from the end. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that we can't afford to rest. There will always be another enemy. And next time, we need to be stronger, smarter, more prepared. His voice hardened with resolve, and his team nodded in agreement. They had fought for Earth, but they knew the fight wasn't over. This victory was just the beginning of a new era for humanity. Later, aboard the flagship, the humans had re-established their control over Earth, and they had begun to rebuild. The damaged cities were slowly being repaired, and the human resistance was now the planet's protector. There was a sense of unity and strength among them that hadn't existed before the war, a unity forged in the fires of battle. But even as the humans began to rebuild, the soldier knew that Earth was now a target. The alien fleet might have been defeated, but there were countless others out there, races who had seen humanity's rise and would likely see it as a threat. They had beaten one enemy, but the galaxy was vast, and it was only a matter of time before someone else came looking for a fight. We'll be ready, the soldier muttered, his hand resting on the console in front of him. The female fighter smiled at him. We faced worse. And we'll keep facing it. Together. The soldier nodded, the weight of the responsibility clear in his eyes. The aliens had made a grave mistake when they thought humanity was weak, and now, humanity had learned an important lesson of its own: never underestimate anyone, and always be ready for what comes next. The soldier turned to face the vast expanse of space, his eyes narrowed. In the distance, a faint glimmer of movement caught his eye. Another fleet. Another race, perhaps, testing their resolve? Whatever it was, the soldier knew one thing for sure: they weren't finished yet. Naughty question for the comment section. Do you think the human soldier made the right call in not showing mercy to the aliens? What do you think the next threat will be? Let us know your theories in the comments.